Hello and welcome to another episode of the A-10 Insider Podcast here on the Field of 68 Media Network. My name is Rob Doster. I have Jeff Goodman with me, and today is all about the city of Richmond. We're going to start with the Spiders, who are sitting at 8-0 in the A-10 after Saturday's massive win over Dayton at home. They followed that up with a win at Fordham. We're going to be hearing from Jordan King here in just a minute. And Jeff, we got lucky on this one, because we decided to set up this interview before Richmond went on the road to one of the tougher environments in the A-10. So we dodged a bullet on that one. But Jordan King will be joining us here in a second. Before he does, let's just talk about these Spiders, man. How good are they?
Well, again, they're surprisingly good because nobody thought this was going to happen this year, probably Chris Mooney included. We talked to him last week, and it's a veteran team, right? I mean, it's a new team. They brought in a lot of new pieces and some freshmen. Well, most of the freshmen are playing a lot. So it's a senior-laden team with basically 5 veterans manning those starting spots, and that's how you win these days. That's how you can flip things quickly, and that's really what Richmond has done here. And then you need an all-league dude, right? And Jordan King's been that.
Yeah, the fun part of this conversation is that Richmond has now entrenched themselves firmly into the NCAA tournament at large conversation with that win over Dayton. They don't play Dayton again this season. They have 2 more games against VCU. They get UMass at home, St. Joe's at home, and at George Mason. The rest of those games are probably not ones that you want to mess with, losing LaSalle, George Washington, URI, Davidson, and St. Louis. So I think that they probably have to get to 18-2 in the league to have a real, I'm sorry, 16-2 in the league to have a real chance of getting an at-large bid here. It would benefit them if they were the ones to knock off Dayton in the A-10 tournament, because that would be another high-level quad 1 win that they could pick up. But I don't think it's out of the question if they continue to win games big, and be able to improve their metrics. Like, at the end of the day, the hardest thing that they're going to have to deal with is that 68 number in the net. But if you can get that up to like low 50s, you got a very real chance.
Yeah, that'll be the key. I mean, again, you look around the country and you're saying to yourself, where are all these bids going to come from? Because the Pac-12 is not great. ACC is not great this year. You can't take everybody from the Big 12. Big 10 is down this year. So I think there's a real chance that if Richmond kind of keeps this going, and again, it's easier said than done, but they don't have Dayton at Dayton. So that's going to help them. They kind of control their own destiny to some degree. And once you have this kind of momentum and this kind of chemistry, sometimes you just kind of ride the wave. And I think that's what Richmond's doing. If they can get this win at VCU, I think then you're talking about a real chance at getting that large bid.
Yeah, this is the tough one, because obviously it's a rivalry game. Obviously, there is a little more riding on this than just simply a regular basketball game. The Siegel Center is never an easy place to play, regardless of how good VCU is. And spoiler alert, Jeff, VCU has actually kind of figured this thing out, and they're winning some games now. So I think right now, our bracketology show, Fielding the 68, has Richmond as a 12 seed. They have them as the highest rated automatic bid right now, because the way that we do these things is whoever's sitting in first place in the conference gets scheduled in as the automatic bid, which means that if it was Dayton that wins the A-10 tournament, Richmond would probably end up being on the wrong side of the bubble. Right now is one of like the first or second out.
They're right there. Yeah, they're
right
just
there.
Right there right now is basically what it comes.
And you know what? If you're right there, you know what that means you have to do?
Win.
Just keep winning. Keep
win
winning.
games.
So,
but if you had told them, and we're going to talk to Jordan in a minute about this, but like if you had told them that they'd be in the equation right now for an NCAA tournament, I'm sure Chris Mooney would say, all right, where do I sign? So playing great basketball, one of the best stories, honestly, in the country is not only the Richmond Spiders, but Jordan King.
Now let me welcome on to the A-10 Insider Podcast, Jordan King, the leading scorer for Richmond, who is currently sitting at 8-0, first place in the A-10, one of the bigger surprises in college basketball this season. Jordan, first and foremost, I just want to say thank you, okay? So we reached out to your SID to set up this interview yesterday. You guys played yesterday, and you won yesterday. The last time that we went through this, we ended up jinxing the guest that we were going to have on the podcast. So thank you for winning and making us not making us look bad.
I wasn't worried, Rob. Listen, I wasn't worried. I knew Jordan was going to come through with the win, the road win. But road wins are tough, right, Jordan? You've been
Yeah,
around long
no,
enough to know
definitely.
that.
He told me at shoot around yesterday, he was like, "Hey, you might have an interview tomorrow, depending on if you win this game or not." I was just like, "Okay, let's make sure we win this game so we can get on
Good
here."
job. Hey, you made sure when you have 29 last night at Fordham,
Mhm.
your 11th straight win for Richmond, a team that was picked 11th in the preseason. And now you are the lone undefeated team left standing in the A-10. You beat Dayton not too long ago. You beat Fordham. There's 9 undefeated teams left in their league, and you're one of them, but you're probably as big a surprise as anyone. How surprised are you that you guys are 11-0? Because you're not some wide-eyed freshman that hasn't been through this.
No, I know. I mean, that's just college basketball for you. I mean, you really never know what's going to happen, especially when the preseason rankings come out. But we saw that as a team, and we kind of took that to heart. We didn't think that we were 11th and the best in the conference. We had good transfers coming in. We had Delani, and then plus you have Big Neil and Zay, who have already been here, and Jai Bailey, who's made a tremendous jump this year. So I mean, we just have the right guys to go on this run that we're having right now.
When did you realize that you had a chance to be this good, right? When did you realize that you were going to be a team that could kind of compete for an A-10? Like everyone knows how good Dayton was going to be this year.
Right.
When did it click? Was it in the summer? Did you see it then? Was it in early season practices?
I don't really think you really know in the summer. You know what I mean? I didn't know the league like that. So it was my first time. I really don't know how good each team is. But I felt like, I really felt like we could be good is when in the non-conference, even when we were 5-5 competing with Florida and Colorado. I mean, they weren't blowout losses. We were right there to the end, and then, it just slips away. But, we just played hard in the non-conference games, never lost faith in each other, and it kind of just carried over to conference play.
All right, so let's go back to your story because coming out of high school, not a
Mhm.
lot of people wanted you. You had to walk on at Siena. You're an Albany kid.
Yes, sir.
I assume you played for the Albany City Rocks, right?
Yeah, played for them for a little bit. Also played for Mass Rivals a little bit as well.
Okay. All right. I don't remember you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember you.
Not a
Should
lot of people do. It's all good.
I assume that's why you didn't get any offers, right? You had to walk on at Siena. Take me through that process because this is a crazy, I mean, honestly, one of the coolest stories in college basketball from where you started to where you are now is insane.
No, it was definitely crazy. Going into my senior year of high school, I just, like you said, I didn't have much. I was just trying to fight for a scholarship, fight for anything. And my last game ended, and I remember talking to my mom. I was like, "Mom, I just don't know what I'm gonna do next year." So we were thinking about doing the prep route, and I played a couple of AAU games after my senior year, and kind of had a good summer. And Siena offered me that walk-on spot, and I was just like, you know what, let's just go to college, and that first year at Siena, I didn't expect much. I was playing with great players like Jalen Pickett, Manny Camprus in the G League. So like I was just there, just trying to work out and just get better as much as I can. And I just had fun my whole freshman year.
Yeah, but your freshman year wasn't you weren't a typical walk on, right? You played 30 games, you got a couple starts. How long
Yeah.
did it take you to kind of for that staff to be like, hey, you know what? This kid might be pretty good right here.
Yeah, so I joined late summer, so I didn't really have much of a chance in the summer to prove myself. But that fall we had a couple of practices. I started, working hard, and we had our first team scrimmage, and I was with like the second group, I guess you could say. And I scored 30 in that first scrimmage. And then the coaching staff, I guess, was just like, okay, maybe he can play. And then I got that first opportunity. The first game of the season actually started. Scored 8 points. Probably shot the ball terrible, but I was just happy to be out there.
Was
When
that
did you get
Carm? Was that
Yeah,
yeah, that
that
was
was
Coach
Carm's
Carm?
first year. Yep.
Bro, I'll tell him he clearly is not he's got to work on these evaluations that he has during the offseason.
He's all good. He's good.
when did you get a scholarship? Like when was that point where they finally was it going into your sophomore year after your freshman year ended?
Yeah, we had a couple Zoom calls after the season because the COVID like shut down our season and stuff, and like he announced it to the team, and everybody was happy for me. It was cool.
Saved your mom a little bit of money.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That was the biggest thing.
She had to be happy. And I mean, listen, it's different too, right? You're a walk on. Obviously, you're part of the team, but it is it's different, isn't it? How you even think about yourself as a walk on and as a scholarship player.
No, definitely. I still kind of consider myself a walk-on. I still have walk-on habits. Like we're leaving the bus. The bus is leaving at 1:15. I'm there at the bus at 1:05. Like I still have that walk-on instinct in me to
And
always
you
be.
don't have to carry any bags though, right? Nobody else's bags. None of
No,
that.
no, 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 no. I'm not doing the bag carrying.
Hey, somebody should be carrying your bags now.
No, no, I don't do that either. It's all good.
Why Richmond? You had an opportunity after your fourth season. I guess you were a grad transfer from East Tennessee State to enter the portal. What was it about Richmond that attracted you to the program, and how did you end up at this school?
It was really just the conversations I had with Coach Mooney. When I was in the portal, I had a lot of schools reach out to me. It was actually my first time I actually got some big recruitment. But Coach Mooney, he talked to me every week. I think he was the most consistent head coach that called me every week, and I just we built a relationship. And then when I stepped on campus, it just felt like home away from home. My mom came on the visit with me. She just felt out everybody, and she thought it was the right fit. We had to talk about it probably like 3 days after, and I was like, this is the place I want to be.
So I think your first game you played VMI this year,
Yes, sir.
and you knew the coach here, Andrew Wilson, knew you from being in the SoCon at East Tennessee State,
Yes,
and
sir.
he had a quote after the game that said, and I quote, "Jordan has never met a shot he didn't like." I love that quote. I love that quote. That's a phenomenal quote. Truth, but man, you can make any type of shot now. What do you think when you hear that quote?
I mean, that's really cool. I feel like every shot I take is going in, but it's all about the feel for the game. If I make my first couple, I feel like, the basket just gets bigger, and then, Coach Mooney can't yell at me for taking a fadeaway three in the corner. So if it goes in, it goes in. But a lot of the shots have been feeling good.
Jordan, it's a fact in basketball that you can't make a shot if you don't take a shot. So don't listen to these guys. Get them up, man. Let it fly.
That's true. That's true.
What is it? What has it been about this Richmond group? I mean, you got a lot of new pieces in there, a lot of new faces. What, in your mind, what has led to this level of success?
I think at the end of the day, we all have the same goal, and that's just to win games. I feel like Delani is our biggest leader on that. He came from Wagner. They have winning history, and he comes from a winning program. Me, not so much. I came from ETSU. We didn't have that great of a season last year, but Delani really picks us up, and he's one of the biggest leaders on our team, and he gets all the guys together. But like I said, we just come every day to compete, work hard, try to get the scout right. And just we have the end goal at the same day, and that's to get the win.
And what about you specifically, right? And I know you're not going to want to put everything on yourself, but you are the leading scorer for this team. You're averaging 19 points a game for the first place team in the A-10, and it's up transfers, guys going from the mid-major ranks to the high major ranks. It doesn't always go that smoothly. Why has it worked so well for you?
The offense that we run here is just, it kind of benefits my game. And, Coach Mooney has helped me out a lot with that. He gives me the confidence to kind of, do whatever as long as I'm making the right play. But yeah, like I said, the Princeton offense, he's been teaching me backdoor more. I don't like the backdoor a lot. I like to go get the ball, but he said, the more you go backdoor, the more you'll be open to go get the ball. So, I've been really taking that into account.
Yeah, it is funny
I
that
mean,
a
it
guy that
must.
loves to shoot is thriving in the Princeton offense.
Yeah.
It wouldn't necessarily connect those dots.
No, I know a lot of people downplay it, but I actually love it. It's a lot of movement, a lot of reads, but it's complicated at first. I was definitely lost when I got here in May, but once I figured it out, it's all good now.
How long did that take?
Ooh, probably I didn't get it really good until probably like the end of summer, maybe even into the fall a little bit. It's a
One
lot of,
day,
a lot of stuff that you got to learn.
one day, Jordan, I would love to get you to sit down with Jeff and have you explain the Princeton offense to him.
I
That
don't
would
even
be.
think I wouldn't be the right guy to do that. I wouldn't be the right guy to do that.
He still doesn't know it. That's what he's saying right now.
Don't
He
tell
still
anybody.
doesn't know it. Right now,
Don't tell anybody.
Mooney's telling him to run something, and Jordan's out there just like, no, just give me the damn ball. Give me the ball. Let me make a play.
I got this one, coach. Don't worry about it.
Right, exactly. Forget that Princeton shit. What's it like playing for Moon? Because Rob and I know him well. I've known him for 20 years, and he's been through a lot, right? The honestly, the ups and downs, whether it's health, whether it's coaching. How do you describe Chris Mooney to people that don't know him or people who have been critical of him from that Richmond fan base over the years lately?
I mean, he's one of the best coaches I've ever had. I mean, he instills confidence in his players. I don't think he's ever told anyone here to not take a shot. He always encourages people to shoot the ball, make the right play, and just play as hard as you can. That's what I loved about him when I was getting recruited in the portal. And when he told me that on my visit, that he'll just give me the confidence to, play my game, I was just like, why would I walk away from that? And it's been working out.
Who has a higher vertical, Neil Quinn or Chris Mooney? We asked Coach Mooney this, and he gave us an honest answer. I need your honest assessment.
I would still give it to Coach Mooney. I would give it to Coach Mooney. Neil can jump, but I mean, Neil's 7 foot. He can still dunk the ball though, so I'll give it to him. I'll still give it to Coach Mooney.
All right, who's the biggest clown on the team? Who's the guy who just loosens everybody up?
Oh man, I'd say that's probably Jai Bailey. He's the funniest. I mean, he makes the room just like as soon as he walks in, everybody's laughing. He brings everyone together.
Are
Is
you?
Kevin,
Go ahead,
go ahead,
Jeff.
Rob. Go.
Well, are you ready for this game that you got on Saturday? Like, are you? It's the first time that you're going through the VCU Richmond matchup. It's the first time that you're in the A-10. Do you kind of have a sense for what this rivalry is and what this game means for the city?
I do now. Everybody's been talking about it. Having big game Saturday, and I've seen on Twitter a couple guys talking about this will depend on the season right here. But I just look at it as another A-10 game, another chance for us to get better. They're a really good team, coached by a really good coach. I just think we have what it takes to go out there and compete, and hopefully get a win on Saturday.
That's a really good diplomatic answer right there. I love how you just dragged your star center and saying he can't jump higher than the coach, and you come out here and you have the perfect answer. No bulletin board material here unless it's for Neil Quinn.
He's old. Hey, he might have done that as a freshman.
No,
I guess the answer would have been different, right, Jordan?
I got some good PR training over the years.
Hey, what makes, because Mooney said the same thing you did about Delani. He said he's the best leader he's ever been around. Yeah. What makes him, or give me an example of what makes Delani such an elite leader?
Even though he's not, out there scoring the most points, or like maybe he's not having the best game, it doesn't matter. He's always talking. His communication level is crazy. It's definitely way better than mine. He picks me up when I feel like I'm having a bad game. And, that's what I love about him. He just brings everyone together on the court. Always talking to us, always just like giving us confidence. Neil will miss the floater that he loves 3 times in a row. He'll be like, Neil, shoot it again because that's your shot. You know what I'm saying? So he's just really good at communicating with all of us.
When you decided to go to Richmond, how much you look at Jacob Gilliard now, right? He was obviously the 5'8" Richmond point guard that helped them. Was it Iowa that they beat? I think it was in the
Iowa first round.
2021 NCAA tournament. You see him in the NBA now. He's playing for the Grizzlies, and he's not just on the roster. He's out there getting minutes.
Right.
Did that factor into your decision at all, seeing like what he was able to do with this program and where he was able to get to as a result?
Oh, for sure. Coach Mooney said they had a lot of success with small guards here. And I was just thinking, why can't I be the next one? And, it's definitely been working out. Jacob has reached out to me a couple of times throughout the year, just giving me some advice because he's been here for 5 years. So he knows the Princeton's offense better than me. And he was just saying, like Mooney, go back door more. I don't see the plus in it, but I guess I'll go back door more a little bit more. When Neil can pass the ball, it makes it easier. But like he's been a big help, just reaching out, giving me little tips and advice. And, I feel like, that's a dream of mine to play in the NBA one day. But, small guards don't always have that chance. So I'm just going to keep working and see what happens.
I was going to ask you that of like, when's the moment? Because, like every kid when you're growing up thinks NBA, right? Yeah. And then you get humbled a little bit when you don't get any attention out of high school and you got to walk on at Siena. When is that moment that came that you're like, you know what? Maybe I got a chance here to whether it's NBA or make a career out of this and make money playing this game for a long time?
Yeah, I would say not really until my sophomore year at Siena. I made that big jump from freshman year to sophomore year, and I was just kind of like, maybe I should start taking this serious and, compete. And, I saw the results were taking over, and I just, kind of fell in love with the game a little bit more. the guys my freshman year at Siena really helped me like fall in love with working hard. I didn't really do the extra stuff, but then I saw them getting extra lifts and extra workouts, and I was like, oh, their results are way better than mine, so I should be doing what they're doing. But once I started taking it a little bit more serious, I feel like I could just make it to the next level maybe.
Do you carry this whole "I used to be a walk-on" thing with you? I think I've heard Duncan Robinson talk about this before. He's a D3 guy that ended up transferring up to Michigan and played in the NBA. And he said that he felt a little bit of like imposter syndrome, right? Where he's like, "Am I like? Is this really me? Am I really supposed to be this good?" And that's kind of what drives him to work and work and work and work and work. Do you feel that at all?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this is just my confidence I have in myself. I feel like I was worthy enough to have a scholarship, my freshman year, just at any school in the country. But I'm just happy I got the opportunity to walk on at Siena, because then it really showed me that I have to work hard and it's not that easy to make it at this level. But like I said, I just kept working hard and kept having confidence and believing in myself. And the people around me, like my mom, she believes in me every day. So I got to give all the credit to her for even, putting up with my stuff in high school.
Are you saying you were a pain in the ass in high school?
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
say you just opened the PR training failed right there. You just opened the door. What was your
maybe
stuff in high
just,
school?
no, I'm just saying how she made a big commitment to, having me on all these teams and traveling. She made a big commitment to all of that. Not a lot of parents would do that for them. And so I got to give all the credit in the world for her doing that for me.
Yeah, with
All
a
right.
son that is currently on an 8U basketball team, I can tell you it is it's not fun going to all those games,
No, I know. I
man.
believe it.
Hey, all right. 22.2 points, 51% from the field, 52% from three, 81% from the line. I don't know what's up with that. You got to get that up to 90, but maybe too late for that. Those are your A-10 numbers. Those are your numbers so far in league play. Like, dudes don't do that, Jordan. Like, I don't know. Like that's when you hear those numbers, and again, think of where you came from and where you are now.
Mhm.
What do you say?
Just that all my hard work is paying off. Finally got some confidence in myself to go out there and play my game. Coach gives me the confidence to go out there and play my game. And the guys around me, they trust me. I trust them. We all trust each other. And, I wouldn't be in this position right now if we weren't winning games. So I got to give all the credit to my team and the guys, to even be on this streak that we're having right now. And hopefully we can continue it going forward.
Yeah, he could be averaging 25 points a game if he shot 90% from the free throw line.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. I mean, like, you're leaving free ones out there, Jordan. Come on. What are we doing here?
My bad. I got to keep working on it.
Well, listen, man, it's been fun chatting with you. It's been fun getting to know you. Best of luck on Saturday. That is going to be a hell of a game. That is a fun rivalry, and I think you're going to enjoy being a part of it this year. Jordan King, leading scorer, 8-0 Richmond Spiders. I hope we didn't jinx you this weekend, man.
Knock on wood. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
You got it. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Awesome, Jordan. Appreciate you, man.